13 people are being detained in Belgium and 2 others are under arrest in France in connection with an anti-terror sweep in Europe this morning. It comes after yesterday's gunfight where 2 suspected terrorists were killed in eastern Belgium. A third was injured and arrested. Experts say the suspect's goal was to kill police. Belgian officers say a dozen searches led to the discovery of 4 military-style weapons, including assault rifles. Meanwhile, police in Germany arrested 2 men in Berlin on suspicion of recruiting fighters for ISIS. Also, one of Paris's main train stations was evacuated after a bomb threat. The latest edition of the French satirical magazine Charlie Hebdo goes on sale in several Canadian cities today, but it may be tough to get a copy. 1,500 copies will be sold in 135 stores between BC and Nova Scotia. However, Charlie Hebdo is making the issue available through its iPod and Android apps. It's the first edition of the newspaper since 12 people were killed at its office in Paris last week. First target, now Sony. With several companies deciding to pull the plug on their Canadian operations, many are wondering if other American companies can continue to thrive in this country. Greg Harper joins us live from downtown Vancouver with more. Greg?
Good morning, Jody. Yes, Target and Sony are out, but Nordstrom is in. The giant store will be here, expected to open in the fall. This is Robson and Howe in downtown Vancouver. Will it survive, though? We'll get to that in a bit. After Target announced yesterday that it was closing 133 of its stores, leaving just over 17,000 Canadians out of work, Sony announced it was closing all of its stores in Canada, 14 of them. Analysts say that Sony was losing market share to online sales, and that Target expanded too fast and didn't give consumers what they wanted. Mex, Jacob, SmartSet are also closing stores across the country. However, experts are saying that U.S. and European retailers will still enter the Canadian market, but they'll need to do their homework first.
Retailers, to survive and prosper, have to be really good at what they do. And I think that's becoming more and more relevant and important now than ever before. Online shopping, mobile shopping, that's huge competition for brick and mortar. And you've got to excite the consumer, you've got to entertain them, you've got to give them what they want, and you've got to keep changing and evolving. And if you can't do that, then you're going to have a problem.
I hear Target didn't have very good distribution. It wasn't the same as the States, so the Canadians that shop at Target in the States were expecting something different and were disappointed.
I try to stick to Canadian retailers. You know, you hear it on TV all the time with the U.S. retailers. We're different. We're different here in Canada. You know, we don't have the same consumer sentiment, and so I don't know if it's going to be successful.
Nordstrom has already opened in Calgary. It's expected to open its doors here in September. Jody?
All right, thanks so much. Greg Harper reporting live for us from downtown Vancouver this morning. Let's go to the island now. The Saanich Police Board is asking Mayor Richard Attwell to step down as its chair as he continues to accuse the force of harassment and leaking details of a 911 call. The request follows the Police Board's decision to ask the BC Ministry of Justice to investigate Attwell. The ministry has since declined. Attwell says he needs some time and legal advice about whether he should stay on. The mayor says he has sent 2 letters to the Office of the Police Complaint Commissioner over claims of harassment and spying. It's been only 3 months since he has been elected in a surprise victory over 6-term incumbent Frank Leonard. Police are investigating 4 separate crashes across the Lower Mainland that sent 4 pedestrians to hospital last night. They're also trying to piece together an accident involving a cyclist in East Vancouver. It happened at around 6:30 at Clark Drive and Adnac Street. The 60-year-old cyclist was struck by an SUV. He was rushed to hospital with serious injuries. Police say the driver remained on scene and is cooperating with investigators. The cause of the collision is under investigation. 2 charities in Burnaby are benefiting from a much-needed boost thanks to a local developer. Meals on Wheels and the Burnaby Hospice Society have each been given a van to help them serve the community. The donation comes from Solo District, the new development being built in North Burnaby. For Meals on Wheels, it's a lifeline. The new van will replace the only vehicle they have.
Meals on Wheels will be using the van to support our home meal delivery service, which delivers about 15,000 meals a year to seniors and other members of our community who are unable to prepare meals for themselves. They'll be going to and from caterers, possibly be delivering meals to the seniors themselves, as well as be supporting events in the community.